It's been a long time coming, but Jarome is coming home.
You're Locked On Flames, your daily podcast on the Calgary Flames. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Locked On Flames. As always, I'm your host, Jess Belmosto, and I'm so excited to be bringing you more good news. Jarome Iginla has been hired as a special advisor to the general manager, and before we dive into that, my cat is shutting doors on me now. But today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. So, Jarome Iginla has been named a special advisor to the general manager, which is his best friend, Craig Conroy. And we are going to talk all about Iggy, what this hiring means, and how important it is to have his voice back in the Calgary Flames organization. Make sure you're subscribed to Locked On Flames wherever you're getting your podcasts. We are here for you every single day, Monday through Friday, and you can catch us wherever you listen to your podcast and, of course, on YouTube as well. Come say hi in the comments. We love talking to you. Okay, so I had an entirely different episode planned and ready to go, so that's coming to you tomorrow. But we're going to break down this press release right from the Flames website, and we're just going to celebrate, okay? We're kicking off the weekend a little early, I guess. Jarome Iginla will be providing support to Craig Conroy in all areas of hockey operations. Dating as far back as our playing days with the Flames, Jarome and I have always talked about one day working together in the NHL, said Craig Conroy. That day has finally come, and I'm happy to welcome him back to Calgary. He provides a creative approach and smart hockey mind to our team, blended with a passion for the game and a desire to win the Stanley Cup. Okay, so it's very exciting to have him back. You know, it was inevitable. Like, this was going to happen at some point, but we didn't know if it would be this season or the next, just because of his other hockey obligations. Iginla has to be one of the most respected players in the NHL, as well as just the Flames organization. Iginla has to be one of the most, if not the most, well-respected NHL player from Calgary or in the Flames organization, but also throughout the entire league. He is just, he's got the passion. He has the passion for the game, an excellent player. And like Conroy said, he brings a creative approach to the game. And we're going to talk more about that in the next segment and what this truly means for the organization and moving forward. Many fans were questioning if he would be able to come back this season because he did commit to coaching, I believe it's junior hockey in Kenowa. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But he will be splitting his time between coaching duties and his advisory duties. So that's pretty cool that they let him do that. Both sides, sometimes I feel like you can't split yourself like that. Jobs just won't let you, especially ones that are so highly esteemed in the NHL as well as a coaching position, because you need to be all in for both things. And, splitting your time is hard. It can be very hard to be needed full time in both places, but you are just a single human being. So it's very interesting to see how that kind of plays out and how the balancing act will go. I hope that at some point through the season we get kind of like an in-depth feature on what like a week or a period of time with Iginla looks like, breaking down like his coaching and his advisory duties. I think that would be super cool, and hopefully This sounds like something Julian McKenzie would put together, so hopefully we can get something like that. And obviously, Iginla was the 18th captain of the Flames organization, and he was passed down the captaincy from Craig Conroy, and it's just really nice to see that the front office is coming together like this, you know. Iginla goes on to say, "I'm grateful to the Flames ownership. I'm grateful to the Flames ownership and Conroy for this, or Connie, for this opportunity to transition my career back to the NHL. It's a very well earned acknowledgement for Connie as a general manager, and I'm looking forward to supporting him and the team in a more engaged capacity." That's so exciting. I don't know. I feel like, you know, you get kind of these PR statements all the time from anyone that gets hired, and it's, you know, more or less the same thing, but again, like, it feels different. And maybe that is just my blind hope, that is my toxic positivity kicking in, but this does feel like progress for the organization, and we are going to talk more about that next, because I think that, you know, we are in a much different spot than we were 3 months ago, even probably less than that, because it's June, so probably at the beginning of April things looked a lot different. So it's nice to see things taking shape, and the Flames have quite a bit of work to do. But before we do that, I do want to talk to you about game time. Buying tickets to any sort of event should not be stressful. It should be a very exciting experience, and just like easy breezy, lemon peasy, easy squeezy lemon peasy, whatever, to buy tickets. Game time is a fast and easy way to buy all the tickets all to sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. They have killer deals on last minute tickets, and their best price guaranteed, so you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped and planning your adventure for fun that you will have. Game Time is the place for last minute tickets, because you get the flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, comedy, theater, anything. And you can get images of your seats in your view before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect to when you arrive. That's big for me, especially if I'm traveling to a venue I haven't been to before. I want to know what I can see, especially at a baseball game. I don't want to be somewhere where I have to, like in the bleachers at some stadiums, you just got to kind of squint and hope that you can see something. But you can buy tickets in a matter of seconds, 2 taps, and you are all set. So today you can snag tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Tickets are sent directly to your phone, so there's no need to dig through your email. Download the Game Time app today. Use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. And of course, terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us this off season as we crawl our way through till October. I appreciate it. Make sure that you're subscribed to Locked On Flames wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube as well. If it's not me hosting, it's Nick hosting. And if it's not both of us, then it's one of us. Just, you get what I'm saying. But this is such an exciting time for the Flames, because does anyone else feel like the despair is like light years away? Like it feels like we have moved mountains since the end of April. I feel like the firing of Daryl Sutter was obviously very huge and a pivotal point for this organization, but then also the Flames and Tree Livings, you know, splitting ways, parting ways, also kind of set a new tone for the organization. Ownership knew that they wanted to bring in some fresh voices, some new minds, and a new way to approach this. And that's exactly what they've done. And we talk about all the time how especially, like, if you go back to listen to any episode from last season, you will hear Nick or I saying, you need a coach that is on the same page as a general manager and an owner that will follow, like, the chain of command. You cannot have someone like Brad Treliving was in the middle last season. We know that. Murray Williams said, "You're not firing Daryl Sutter," when Treliving wanted to. And it just, you can't have a coach that has fundamentally different views on how you should run a hockey team. You need everyone to be on the same page. Not just the same page, but this needs to go down to an even smaller level. The same page, the same book, the same word, the same paragraph, everything. You have to be aligned. You have to be so aligned, and I feel like there is no better tandem right now than these two, Craig Conroy and Jarome Iginla, going into this, because they have been dreaming of this for 20 plus years. And I feel like if there's anyone that's going to set the tone for healthy communication, it is obviously these two, but obviously Ryan Huska as well, because Huska, I talk about it more on tomorrow's show, but Huska has a track record of very solid communication, and there really would be no reason for Iginla or Conroy to kind of butt heads in a way that truly affected the Flames. I think that, I mean, obviously, butting heads is going to happen in any sort of job, especially when you have to make these big decisions, but not in a way that it's comparable to last year. It's everyone is on the same page in terms of how this team needs to get to the next level. That wasn't there last year, and we have that now. So I think that it's great that they are hiring a different, obviously, throughout the organization. You had to get your general manager to get your coach, and now you have a special advisor to the general manager. And I really do think that it's great to see this organization move forward. They're bringing in a team that wants to work together and that can, again, challenge each other in a good, healthy way. And they want to advance this team. I think anyone that accepts a position in the NHL or any organization, any professional sport, is going to tell you, I want to win the Stanley Cup. I want to win the Commissioner's Trophy. I want to win the Super Bowl. I want to win, I don't know, other sports. I want to win XYZ. They want to win. That is the goal. And I feel like bringing in Iginla really shows, like, camaraderie. You're bringing in a guy that is so well respected, that was a captain of this team, that has had a good, solid relationship with Craig Conroy for 20 plus years. How many people can say that, especially with, like, former coworkers? You know how many times, like, I just want to scream at my coworkers and be like, I never want to see your face again, because, obviously it's obviously a lot different in an office setting than it is in the NHL, but potential employers, hi, I promise I'm not a problem. But no, it is so important to have people in your organization that value you, their connections, and their relationships with other people. And I think that that's a really good way to, build up the morale in the locker room and build that trust again. Because if I'm having a horrible day and, I'm coming back from my wonderful off season with my family after a horrendous season, and, there's been a lot of turnover, maybe some guys have been traded at this point, I'm going to feel really good about things when Jarome Iginla walks into that room and says, boys, we're going to have ourselves a season. And it's so important to remember that as well, because, a lot of these players probably watched him growing up. I know I did when he was with the Bruins for a little bit, but he is just so well respected and so So is Ryan Huska. So is Craig Conroy. Like, there isn't this hierarchy. When Gerald Sutter came in, we all knew, like, Sutter's going to call the shots. Yes, as a coach, you do call the shots, but you should also be able to effectively communicate with your colleagues and say, hey, I'm going to bench you today because, there were some issues that we worked on from 2 or 3 games ago that you're not working through them. They're still showing up in your game and you haven't taken the notes from practice and applied them. Okay, sure. Got that. It shouldn't be, oh, well, what number was he? It shouldn't be anything like that. It needs to be a fun, healthy, cohesive environment. And I feel a lot better than I did at the end of April. They're bringing in internal hires. They are bringing in people that the players know or know of and are building a solid relationship. And this is like one of those things that I feel like people can get so caught up in, that I've seen like people like tweeting think pieces like, oh, well, the Flames are just so soft and, heaven forbid a coach, be a not an authoritarian, but like a disciplinarian and get people going versus being their friend. And that's where you lose me, because you can be both of those things. You have to walk that fine line and find the balance of what works in your locker room. Bruce Cassidy just won the Stanley Cup, and the players said he brought an intensity to our locker room that we needed. And Jim Montgomery with the Bruins, he was more of a player's coach. He's more of a guy that's going to coach you through things and like with positive reinforcement. And I don't know if Bruce Cassidy is that. I think that he's a harder coach, but nothing like bringing down the hammer. And I don't think we're going to see that with Ryan Huska either. I talk about that a lot in tomorrow's episode, so be sure to tune in to that. But you have to find that healthy balance, and I think the Flames are bringing in a very good group of people, but it's not a bunch of yes men, which is something that is, write that down, because we can revisit this in 6 months, right before the Christmas break, and see how things are looking. Is Huska this kind of coach? Is Conroy able to make decisions, respectable decisions? Are things working in a way that we kind of predicted them to? So, again, Iggy and Connie have been best friends for 20-something years. This is something they have dreamed about. This is something that, brings Iginla obviously back into a role in the NHL, but also will help him learn the ropes of a front office position. And maybe we see him as a general manager someday. Maybe not for the Flames. Hopefully the Flames, if he does well in this kind of role. And then, you have to be open-minded and flexible when it comes to these things, because there are so many reasons to be excited for this season. And we're going to talk more about just kind of the vibe check after this announcement, because I think a lot of people are just so excited for the future of the Flames. But before we do that, I do want to take a quick second and talk to you about Birddogs. Birddogs stretch like khaki shorts, but are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. They fit better than regular shorts, and they're not made of stiff, restricting cotton. And they have a great cloud knit fabric and a liner, and I enjoy them. And apparently, Birddogs use a special anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. I don't have a sense of smell, so I can't attest to that, but I'm sure everyone else can. And these are something that you can wear, at the cookout, on the golf course, just out and about, around your house. You can wear them anywhere. And today, when you go to birddogs.com and place your order, you can get a free Yeti-style tumbler with your purchase. So go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL for a free Yeti-style tumbler with your order. That is birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL for a free Yeti-style tumbler. You won't want to take your bird dogs off. We promise you. And thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with me today as we work through another week closer to the season. We have the draft coming up. We have free agency. We've got trade rumors. The Flames finally have a head coach and a semblance of a front office under the Craig Conroy umbrella. And we're going to just keep talking about it. There's so much exciting stuff happening within this organization that should get you excited for October. October what? We don't know. Schedule comes out next month. I think so. In July. That sounds about right. But listen, this news dropped right as I was getting ready to sit down to record what will now be tomorrow's episode. And everyone was just freaking out. Everyone was so excited. I'm actually going to pull up the tweet right now. But there are just so many exciting reactions to this. And I think if there's one thing Flames fans need to at least get them through to October, it is positive change. And hiring Iginla, someone that is so loved by this community, is so exciting. I don't think I've ever seen an organization or a group of fans, like a fandom, rally around a former player so much, like to this capacity, and just want him back working with the organization any way possible like this before. I've never seen that. And that's what's special about Flames fans. They know. They're pretty smart. They're a very good group of people that know what's good, know what's bad. Of course, you got some outliers there, but let us go through some of the reactions of fans talking about Iginla. So let's see. Noah Adler 99 says the king has returned. And there's just these reaction videos and pictures are so funny. If you're watching on YouTube, I honestly, if you're not, you should be. But we have Shane Stevenson saying, good news, and other people saying this is great, major bag alert. Everyone liked that. And then people, posting the GIF of his banner raising. And I just think that it is such an exciting time. And you can tell how much it means immediately. I have not seen a negative reaction to this. And I feel like for any hockey fan, any fan of any organization, to not jump to an immediate negative, that's when you know something's good. When people talk about bringing in a coach or bringing in a general manager, they're just so quick to talk about, well, look what happened. Look what happened when they were a coach. Look what happened when they were with this organization. And it's kind of like, yes, you're very valid, but if we set someone up for success, we can get some progress, right? I think that it is so important for Flames fans to have hope in this team again. And there is a lot more positivity surrounding the players and their reaction to, hiring Huska and Conroy compared to where they were a few months ago. And that's progress. Progress isn't just like lifting the Stanley Cup at the end of the season. It is those baby steps to get to that finish line. So yes, the Flames organization right now is taking what they need to do at the starting line to get to the finish line. And we have so much to look forward to as we continue to cruise through the off season with the draft ahead of us in like 10 or 11 days. And then we have free agency starting like a few days after that. And, you know, there are some talks of some possible trades for the Flames. Could Noah Hannafin be on the move? I don't know. Is Elias Lindholm ready to come back and sign an extension? I don't know. Are they going to trade Tyler Toffoli? I hope not. But we will talk more about that as we work our way through the offseason here on Locked On Flames. Make sure you are following me on Twitter at JessBelmosto and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're here for you Monday through Friday, your team every day. Leave a nice little review and a rating because it helps the show. Plus, it's nice to read nice things. So thank you, everyone, again. You can follow me on Twitter at JessBelmosto. Find the show, Locked On Flames, wherever you get your podcasts, and, of course, on YouTube as well. And I will see you tomorrow as we talk about Rasmus Andersson's reaction to Ryan Huska's hiring and how Huska took this out-of-shape, lazy player and helped turn him into a potential Norris Trophy candidate here on Locked On Flames.